Hello, this is my weekly vlog from my Web 2.0 class. This week I've actually been using a really interesting Web 2.0 tool called Voylant tools, and it's a type of data mining or textual analysis tool. It's a digital humanities tool that I found on the Princeton Digital Humanities Center website. It's really neat. You're able to upload a bunch of text or individual articles, and you can make Wordles or other normal Web 2.0 type things, but you're also able to analyze the text for word occurrence. There's stop word lists that get rid of ifs and ands and buts and things like that, so that you get the meatier words. And you're able to analyze the text by word occurrence. Say if you upload 10 documents, you can see the common word occurrence between those documents. You can see the words that only occurred in specific documents or more heavily occurred in specific documents as compared to others. Um, you're also able to do word searches. So you can search for a word like process, and you can see how it occurred throughout the documents, if it occurred more in one over the other. And I'm doing this for my graduate assistantship. I'm working with a professor, and we're interested in looking at John Dewey and Paulo Freire in the context of academic journals. The professor that I'm working with thinks that Paulo Freire is referenced more often than, or I take that back, that John Dewey is referenced more often, but that Freire's work is often more incorporated. But since Dewey is such a more prolific figure, that it's better to have a Dewey citation or a Dewey reference. Makes your paper look better, but the people are actually using Paulo Freire's concepts within the bulk of the article. So I just spent all of last week downloading and converting to simple plain text files 5 years of an academic educational journal, and I'm going to upload it up to Voylant Tools and see what we find. We're going to search for references to Dewey versus Freire, but also word occurrence related to their specific research. Are people talking about habits, or are people talking about oppression, or the different, I guess, educational philosophers' perspectives on that? So it's really interesting, and it's really cool to get to use a digital humanities tool in an academic setting. It also seems to be really interesting, the idea to be able to data mine or do textual analysis on more books than it would be possible to read. And it's interesting thinking about what are you then able to gain from reading those books. Can you speed read a book if you know the words that occur in it the most? Does that count as having read the book, is to know you know what it's about? How much so do those specific contextual sentences matter? I mean, I think they do to some degree. I think that this technology could also serve as being important in other ways. Um, I'm still wrestling with Marshall McLuhan in this class too. I've gone back to my Understanding Media book, and I keep trying to understand the Web 2.0 media, because McLuhan would say that it's in the media for this is actually the computer or the tablet that they're using to interact with this. But it seems like within that medium we have so many other mediums. McLuhan also argues that the old mediums will become the content of the new. So with this new computer medium, all of our old mediums have thus become the content of that new medium. Much like thought became the content of writing, or thought became the content of speech, and speech became the content of writing, and so on. That computers now, the content of computers, are all of our old mediums, which is interesting. Our audio visual mediums, text, all of those things are now within the context of this new medium. And I understand McLuhan's point on the interaction with the medium being important. It's also hard to apply that to the computer because it gives you such different experiences. Spotify is much different than Word, but the experience of using it kind of isn't. That I get to it on my computer and that I open a thing and that I, use that tool in a way. It Those programs in that context seem very similar. Although Spotify is auditory and Word is not, there's some slight differences there. I guess I have no conclusive thoughts on that. I just wanted to say that I'm still kind of wrestling with those ideas in the context of this class in the Web 2.0. And that's all.